Will we give a huge welcome to Georgi McCauley. Georgi McCauley to the stage. Here's Georgie. You got your wife there, Julian. Georgi McCauley. Welcome, Georgie.
Thanks. About exactly 1 year ago, I moved to Ireland for grad school, and I was so excited. I mean, this was my first time living abroad, and I just felt really ready to take a big life risk in the name of adventure. Obviously, I have Irish heritage. Shout out to great-grandpa. But I remember squealing with some of my friends back in Los Angeles. I was like, I'm going to be spending literal St. Patrick's Day in literal Ireland. And they were so happy for me. And I call it a big life risk because when I arrived in Galway, I had no place to live lined up, and the pandemic was making it very hard to find a job. And I didn't know anybody in the entire country. So I quickly organized my priorities, and I hopped on Tinder. And side note, I did find a place to live. It was great. It came very easily. I was so lucky. And during my first week living in my new spot, I went on 3 Tinder dates. The first was with a guy named Andrew, who bought me so many rounds of shots that I went home like almost unconscious, and I FaceTimed my ex, and which is probably not his goal. But the second date was with a guy named Shane, and he just blew the thickest cloud of unvaccinated cigarette smoke into my face the second I arrived. So I almost canceled my date with the third guy named Tom, because dating is actually just so frustrating and exhausting and weird. But, you know, sure look, sure listen. Tom, his messages were nice, and his profile seemed normal, and I still didn't know anybody in the country, so I agreed to meet him by the river. And it ended up being amazing. I mean, we sat and talked by the water, we wandered through town, we listened to buskers, we got sushi, we totally kissed. And he was just so sweet and handsome and, like, easy to get along with, and I just felt happy and, like, nice around him. Unfortunately, he did have a very rare case of not being ready for commitment. So I was like, okay, cool. I ended up just saying, like, look, I like you more than you like me. I think I should probably just call it what it is. You're obviously so hot and cool and, like, literally perfect for me, but that's fine. Maybe we should just, like, let things go. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we lost touch, which was really for the best, even though he was perfect for me. And months later, I finally celebrated my first St. Patrick's Day in literal Ireland, and it was really fun. I had friends by that point, so we went to a very cute, kind of sad parade, and yeah, sorry. All those kids needed, like, one more rehearsal, and it would have been, like, funnier. But then we went to a bar afterwards. Everybody's decked out in these amazing outfits. Everybody's wearing green. And I just threw on, like, a green mom sweater and mom jeans and big clunky boots. I thought it was going to rain, and I felt totally underdressed. But my friend kept throwing pieces of her outfit at me the whole time we're drinking. She's, like, putting big green bows in my hair and, like, pressing me to wear these big wacky sunglasses. And I'm like, all right. But by 7 o'clock, I look nuts. And I'm also winding down. I'm getting tired. And as magical as St. Patrick's Day was, I was like, maybe I just need to get Apache pizza. So I did. I decided to go home. And that is when I feel like the sort of Irish cosmic forces started to swirl, because I go to Apache. My housemate, Nessa, has COVID. And she made it very clear that no one was to return home without a bottle of wine for her. So I'm like, I could go get her a bottle of wine now, or I could wait for my pizza and garlic bread to be finished, or I could just, like, wait for that and then go get the wine. I don't know. So I decide to wait, and then I'm walking to get the wine, and I see Daybreak is open. It looks like it might be faster, easier. There's no line. But you know what? It's going to be more expensive. Fuck it. I'll go to Fine Wines. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if I can say fuck. I'm like, I'll just go to Fine Wines. I go to Fine Wines. I've got my pizza in my hand. I look crazy. There's a long-ass line. I'm making small talk with people. I'm obviously tipsy, but I'm letting some people go ahead of me in line, and I'm like just fishing around for my wallet. And so it's all of these little things, all of these like little decisions that resulted in me turning to leave the store after I finally buy this bottle at the exact moment that Tom walks in with a group of his friends. And I'm a little drunk, and I'm obviously confused because he doesn't even live in Galway. He lived like an hour and a half away. That was part of the problem. I forgot to mention that. Yeah. I think, like, you know, he was very cute when we were together, but when we were apart, it was like scraps of his attention was what I subsisted on. So anyway, he walks into the store, and I'm like, oh, my God, Tom. I shout his name, and he looks at me, and he smiles, and he comes over, and, like, we hug, and it's so cute. And for a brief moment, I'm like, maybe St. Patrick himself is, like, smiling down on me. Like, this is it. Like, this is luck of the Irish right here. And we're just talking, and then someone taps me on the shoulder and is like, excuse me, but your card didn't go through. And I'm like, I don't know if your soul has ever left your body, but if you're interested at all in, like, giving up in life, I can't recommend it enough. Definitely go get your card and have it be declined for one bottle of wine while bows are, like, dripping out of your hair and, like, funky sunglasses are clipped to you and your ex is looking at you with the most sincere, like, face of pity, and he's offering you money. He was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I got it. I probably just tapped it too many times buying all those cool drinks back at the cool bar I was at. And he was nice about it. Of course he was. He's always so nice. And he was like, what are you doing now? You know, it's only like 7. And I was like, yeah, no, I know. I know. I think I mentioned the cool bar I was at. I had a whole group of friends. There was a whole group of them. I just left them. I'm not just standing here clinging to this aromatic pizza and, like, holding a bottle of wine by myself looking crazy. And before I left, a security guard came up and was like, if you're not going to buy anything else, you have to leave. And I was like, wow, thanks so much for making it look like I'm holding Tom hostage. But also thank you for saving me from this train wreck that's happening. So I feel this impulse to pay him a compliment. I'm like, oh, if I say, you look good, that might sound flirty. And if I say, you look handsome, what am I, his grandma? So I was like, while my brain is short-circuiting, I scrunch up my whole body. And I'm like, you look so cute. And then I ran out of the store. And I'm walking home, I'm like, was that fate? Was that the luck of the Irish? But you know what? I don't want to hear anything else about the luck of the Irish, because if that shit existed, Tom would have stayed home that night with his girlfriend, and that girlfriend would be me. Thank you.
Georgi McCauley, everybody. That was great.